What's the crack, everybody? I listen to the Discus Lariat Collective podcast. I'm your host, Warren, here with Glenn. And we jumped on this podcast technically at about 8 o'clock. It's been 50 minutes of, what would you say? Technical difficulties. So if we still get any, fuck it. We're just going to have to go with it.
Dilly gaff, bro.
Yeah. So, out straight, look at this. Dressed like a Mark CM Punk t-shirt. Not even care.
I'm not wearing me Discus Lariat Collective top. Sorry.
It's all good.
Don't look at me.
I'm
wearing 5'11's finest.
I don't even know what that means.
Oh, military wear.
Oh, there you go. Very Undertaker over here. 9 apparel and all that. But yeah.
I told you I have my military haircut, dude.
True. Show the gun.
Demonetized.
That's fake. That's made of rubber. Don't worry.
This is not a real gun or firearm. It is a Nerf.
Right, so we'll just get into it. We're just going to chat about, obviously, the big balls tonight. AEW Rampage, the Force Dance, as they're marketing as. United Center, Chicago. 3 matches on the card. I'm not going to go too in depth on the matches because it's all about one other thing. We'll get there. So
yeah, boy.
I'm not going to lie. Moxley and Daniel Garcia should absolutely slap. Because Daniel Garcia, a wrestler's wrestler, very Brian Danielson. Yeah, very much like that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm not going to lie to you. That's the match of the night for me personally. Hopefully it's good. But yeah, let's just get straight into it because we're going to just keep this like 10 minutes.
Go on.
CM Punk. What's going to happen?
That is a main event question. Yeah. Let's touch on the other 2 matches real quick one time, and then we can spend a good 6 minutes of marking out about CM Punk. Chad Michael Punk.
Chad Michaels. So other matches then, I suppose Jurassic Express against Private Party. I think it's a good qualifier. Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah.
I always like seeing them. They're always improving, and they're building them like I don't know what. It's just good. It's just good wrestling. I feel good watching it.
Yeah, and it's like that's one thing that I do like about AEW, the tag team work. It is very built up. Do you know what I mean? And it's not just thrown on the telly for the sake of it. There is usually a bit of a, not necessarily a story always, but there is that kind of, it feels important. So that's what I like.
I now prefer watching the AEW tag team division. Now the women's division's been consistently better the last while anyway.
Yeah.
But everyone draws comparisons against other companies and New Japan or Impact or whoever. The tag division in AEW is my favorite to watch.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I 100% agree with that one. Just so many different teams as well. Just good. Yeah, it really is. And then the other match then is, oh no, what was it? Is it Jade Cargill? Yeah, I think it is. I think it's Jade Cargill against Kiera Hogan. What was it? She was one half of Fire and Flava from Impact, and she's getting a run out now in AEW. So, like a lot of people think she's the next big thing, I suppose. Like in women's wrestling, I don't really watch too much of Impact, but I haven't anyway. So I'm starting to kind of get back into it now. But yeah, no, that'd be a good match. I don't know what else to say about it, to be honest with you. I haven't really been keeping up with it.
I think this match will be good, but I think AEW suffers with the too many cooks and big ingredients thing. It will be hard for these women to shine, knowing what we've seen from some of the other main card late in the game players that we've seen on recent AEW pay-per-views and that. Like, so
I just copped your frozen there real quick.
Cool. Let me double tap out of that.
Yeah.
That should refresh me.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Cool. I just hope that they shine. That's all I can hope for, is that they show that they're better than what we've seen before.
Yeah. Well, and like that's the thing, the likes of the Fire and Flava matches that I have seen in Impact, Kiera Hogan has been the standout. So it is probably about time that she goes off on her own and makes a name as well. So happy enough with it. And then, as we said, Garcia and Moxley should be. I hope it closes the show in terms of like match wise. Like I hope it's not an opener. I think the tag team match could be the opener, but whatever. We'll see what happens later on at 3 o'clock in the morning over here.
It's gonna be a late one.
Yeah, rich. But I was going to say, yeah, but the likes of CM Punk though, that's the big thing. And I'm not even too like you see people on Twitter is the main thing, and they're like, "Oh, what would you do now if CM Punk doesn't show up? Would you trust AEW? Would you trust Tony Khan?" It's like, yeah, I don't care. It doesn't bother me when people like, and they're like, "Oh, they lie to you." It's like, I don't care. I mean, I've been duped by a billionaire. How many times has that happened? Do you know what I mean?
Like every day of your life that you've never done anything ever. Like,
yeah, we all work for companies that we probably don't want
to. They could earn more than any of us from the time Jesus was born to now, and they're still going to be richer. Like, that's how it works. Like,
yeah, so it doesn't bother me.
CM Punk, look, we're not going to jump into fantasy bookings, but go on, tell me. I know you're thinking that. How do you think he's going to come out? Or how will the presentation be? Will he be on the podium? Will he be delivered with flowers and chocolates? Will he arrive out of Tony Khan's uterus? What will we get?
Oh my god. I have two kind of ideas. The first idea was that just with Darby Allin being hinted as the first feud, I was thinking maybe I would love to see a heel Punk again. Again, I think he's that over, like he's that top level star that he can't really be a true and true heel. He wouldn't be an MJF. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, like people still just love him. So I think it would be cool to see maybe a bit of a fracas after that Moxley and Garcia match. Eddie Kingston gets involved and say 2.0 get involved. Sting and Darby Allin come down to kind of even the odds a bit maybe. And Darby Allin gets cornered by CM Punk. I think it'd be pretty cool. But then again, you do want that pop with the music, don't you? So, yeah.
Like it would have been nice to see kind of walk out and kind of swerve the crowd. Darby Allin gets someone else coming after him with the whole, who's best and all this, the teases that we've got. Because Darby's still a pretty good like top star, still sitting in his corner, all that stuff. Personally myself, it would have been nice to see a beaten Christian Cage or a beaten Kenny Omega, it doesn't really matter who, where the winner is stood giving a promo after a match, and then out comes Punk, very a la CM Punk's return in 2011 after the Money in the Bank match. That's just personal fantasy, but I don't want them to do the surprise hooded figure thing. I do think it should be the writing's on the wall, that the crowd dictate when it happens. And if Darby Allin's in the middle of a ring giving a promo or some shit, he's like, yeah, look, even the crowd knows what's going on, and he's riling them up, and they're chanting, and then some music hits, and then he just comes out and goes, what?
Yeah. Like, what did I miss?
I don't know if you see that face at this point. Everyone's just losing their shit over, and he's just like, what the fuck do you want?
Yeah. There's a few ways you can play it. I'm really excited anyway, but I think another cool way to debut, I think, would be to do what Moxley did to Omega when he debuted. Yeah. I mean, now obviously get the music playing and stuff like that, obviously, because Moxley just came out with the crowd. But I mean, just for example, like you have, as I said, Moxley and Garcia are gonna have a fight later on. Whatever happens after it, whether it's Eddie Kingston helping Moxley up or something, and then you have the music playing, Cult of Personality says blaring, or whatever music you want them to have, and he just strolls on down, and there you go, yeah, big pop. That's what you want. You do want that. Do you know what I mean?
Want that because it's going to be the biggest return in wrestling.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, I don't think in terms of the pop, I don't know how many tickets were sold exactly. I don't know if it's a full house. I don't know if it's a full house COVID-wise or what's the story there. It's hard to beat them attitude era pops, like Austin at Backlash 2000. That kind of pop, do you know what I mean? It's hard to beat that, but this is the closest you will get to it.
Yeah.
Whether it beats it or not, I'm not going to stand there with a fucking decibel counter. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't bother me. As long as I hear the crowd, I'm getting excited thinking about it. Do you know what I
mean? Personally, right, if you were to do some crazy fantasy booking, right, where you're going to have Sting and Darby Allin in there, and he's calling out, and he's calling out, and he's calling out, much like getting a Rock and an Austin at the time that it was. Imagine if at the opening of the show, Ting is doing some interviews with Paul White or whatever, and then he goes, oh, and Paul White can bring out a Bryan Danielson and be like, oh yeah, we've got him out here tonight. Yeah. And when Darby Allin does his call out, he can do a call out. Bryan Danielson be like, I don't know who you guys were expecting, but I'm gonna answer the call. And then you can have CM Punk, and that's gonna just cause crowds to just lose their shit. Like
it is.
Yeah. That would be end game fucking territory. That would be. Yep, Avengers Assemble. Oh shit, a spider.
Now, we know Chicago's a big wrestling city, and it's a big hockey city as well. That's the thing that I'm into. I'm yeah, big into hockey or whatever. But I don't
Yeah,
know, just like Americans in general and stuff like that. But for example, when you see a football match like over
yeah,
here, like I'm out, like I don't think I'll ever forget the 2002 World Cup because it was the last time Ireland were in the European Championship. Well, the World Cup,
right.
so that's it was a big thing for Ireland. I like the way England got to the Euros there last, just gone, and then the World Cup before that. And when something big happens, whether it's even a goal scored or a penalty given, the place
Yeah,
erupts. There's points getting fucked everywhere. There's, you know what I mean? That kind of vibe to it. Now, don't get me
yeah.
wrong, obviously, you're going to get a ridiculous reaction to me, regardless. But I would love to see just points getting fucked. I'd love to see, like, t-shirts getting whipped off, all sorts of shit like that. I'd love to see a pure European reaction to it. But, yeah, whatever. I
Okay.
think it's cool.
What would you do if out of frustration for not having Punk come out, you have Daniel Bryan come down and Daniel Bryan beats him with whatever, beats him, but then Sting and Darby Allin kick the shit out of him, and the fans expect Punk to come out. They expect him, and he doesn't, right?
Mm.
And then those lads storm off, and then as Bryan is moseying his way back up the ramp a bit, then the music hits, and CM Punk comes out and beats the shit out of Daniel Bryan, or Bryan Danielson, beats the ever living piss out of him.
Yeah.
And the Chicago crowd just love it, but then the next time it's like you can't cheer for him even if he's returned.
Yeah.
When he's beating the piss out of the baby face, like
Yeah.
you
But
can't, oh man. And
no,
then
you
you get
can't.
your feud.
Yeah.
You get your big bold feud.
Yeah. I'd be all right with that. I'd be all right with that, to be honest.
That'd be good. And then you get your heel Punk too.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I think as well. Just the way Tony Khan's been letting on about like, oh, like we are not going to let you down this time and stuff like that. And as I said, if he turns around, he's like, oh yeah, here's Hulk Hogan rocks out, and obviously deflation. Do you know what I mean? Stuff like that. Yeah, do you know what I mean? I think whatever happens. As I said, I'm not going to harbor a grudge against anyone. It's like when the little sparklers went off at the death match. Why would you hold it against them? Do you know what I mean?
Or the soft mats when Ting was tossed off the cage that time, like
Jericho, yeah.
Not being bad, right? That's not what actually sticks out in people's minds. It never is and never will be. Otherwise, the Ambrose Asylum will go down as the worst Hell in a Cell match ever.
Yeah.
The fact is, people remember elements of what goes on. And things like crowd reactions, chants, pops, all that stuff really contributes to the modern remembrance and modern legacy of things. And this is why, I'm not being bad here, but this is why a Jericho entrance will be remembered more than anything Cody Rhodes has done in AEW.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
You know, like, it is what it is.
Yeah. But that's the thing, like, whatever happens tonight, the way, as I said, Tony Khan's been letting on, it feels like there's going to be someone else as well. So if it comes to it tonight and Punk is there and someone else debuts or signs tonight, you get to pick two. Who do you think, either this person or this person? Who do you reckon?
Like, am I allowed to just throw the fantasy out there and say Brian and Punk? Or
yeah, fire away if that's what you want to go with.
Brian and Punk. I'm playing lottery. I know I won't win, but I would love to just have a little snack.
Yeah, you'd be surprised, though, in fairness. Like, stranger things have happened. Like, nobody thought Big Show would ever just be done with WWE. Do you know what I mean? And not even in a wrestling capacity, just in general. I always thought he was a lifer, legend contract here and there, producer. That's what I was expecting for the rest of his life. But you know what I mean? Weird shit happens.
That's right. It could be, isn't it? Like,
exactly. You know what I mean? If the price is right, why not? Like, you know what I mean? You're in there to make money. You're not in there to, like, Lesnar has his legacy. Do you know what I mean? Go in there and make a few bob. But we'll come to that reaction now in 2 seconds. I was going to say, I was thinking, like, my heart says, what was it?
You were going to say it.
My heart says Brian Danielson and Punk, but I have a weird inkling that it could be AJ Lee.
Oh, okay, that's a good show. No, you didn't.
Almost like the diva killer kind of thing, and just comes in and just tears through the women's division. Now, not obviously burying people, but I think it'd be cool to have like a really big name that hasn't been around the way Punk hasn't been around in a while. Do you know what I mean? It'd be kind of cool. But again, I don't know. What are you going to say?
Yeah. To take over the Dark Order eventually. Or create his own version of it, especially in light of who passed. Could have
Bray Wyatt.
Our dear friend Bray. No, he obviously could have his own different ring name. But
yeah. Like, I think if Bray Wyatt does come into AEW or anything like that, obviously, like every time someone with a bit of a spooky character leaves WWE, everyone's like, "Oh, Dark Order," and I think as well with the likes of Bray and how close he was to Brody, it does make sense as well. But at the same time, though, I think the cult of Wyndham that he's teasing Bray Wyatt, I think that could be a cool thing. Me and Darryl were chatting about it. It could, like, maybe Malachi Black.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like I watched that. It wouldn't be. It would like I say the Dark Order. I mean, he takes their members. I don't. I mean, he's like, yeah.
Pretty cool though. Yeah. Either way, whatever happens tonight should be a good one. And it's like you're in for 3 hours of wrestling. If you're into SmackDown, you have that as well beforehand. You know what I mean? And whatever you think about it, is the go home show, the second biggest show of the year, SummerSlam. So you never know. We could get a good episode tonight of SmackDown as well. It's been fairly decent. So we won't go into that obviously because I don't want to cross streams here. Like, you know what I mean? But
look, it's gonna be a fat night for wrestling. That's for sure.
Fat with a capital PH. But we'll leave it there, I suppose, because there's no point in rambling on. Because we'll just getting into fancy booking. But yeah,
which we'll do on the next episode.
Yeah, pretty much. But before we go, I just want to say thanks very much for listening or for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, which if you are subscribed to the channel, if you haven't already, and drop a like or a comment or whatever you want to do on the video. And then we are on Instagram, Discus Lariat Collective, Twitter, the Discus Lariat. And then wherever you get your podcasts, we're usually there, in and around there.
I mean, if we're not, just come find us.
Yeah, give us a text. Yeah, right then. We'll leave it there. So until next time, we'll see you later.